On this Thursday for the Daily QCI, we're going to have a mix of critical thinking and how it relates to trust. We're doing this through the lens of the recently released Edelman Trust Barometer. There'll be a link in the description to that report. Let's get into it. Because everyone keeps saying trust is collapsing. But is it? Or is it just retreating or contracting? Kind of like a stressed nervous system that stops exploring and puts up the guardrails. It's not just a political story, even though that's a really common area to see it these days. But it's a human story. When life feels unstable, people don't ask what's true anymore. They ask, what feels safe to me? So in the Edelman Trust Barometer for 2026, there's a brutal statistic. 7 in 10 people globally are hesitant or unwilling to trust someone who's different from them. Now that might be different values, different facts, different approaches, different backgrounds, different political affiliation, different state you live in, a different tribe. Trust is contracting inward. It's toward your inner circle, your community, your people, and away from others, the other side. Edelman frames this as a stack: polarization, grievances, and then insularity. The short version is that people feel like the system is tilted. They feel economically exposed. They feel manipulated by information. It's hard not to feel that way. They feel the future is worse than the present. And when that happens, cooperation becomes conditional, not because people are evil, but because a lot of people are feeling overloaded. And as we've talked about a lot last year, feelings matter. Another stat that stands out, maybe it matters more than it should, it's that 32% globally think that the next generation will be better off. That's right, only 32%. That's the emotional root of this system for the entire report. When belief in progress collapses, people don't get more open-minded. They get defensive. They narrow their inputs. They stop giving strangers the benefit of the doubt. Hope shrinks. Trust localizes, and cooperation fractures. Putting a leadership spin on this, because employers are one of the few institutions that people might still trust. The report actually showed that my employer is still trusted globally. Whether you like it or not, your workplace is now an arena for trust. What can we do about all this? Edelman calls it trust brokering, which is basically to stop trying to convert people and start translating realities. I can agree with that. And if we then put the leadership spin on that, this is exactly what our above average leadership framework was built for. Abandon your ego. If you need to win every disagreement, you're not building trust, you're building compliance and resentment. In an insular world, as Edelman calls it, ego is gasoline. Leaders who can't de-escalate themselves will inflame everyone. Number 2, walk your talk. Trust is not a values poster. It's your behavior under pressure. People don't just trust institutions because they've never heard a mission statement. They distrust institutions because they've watched leaders violate their own stated principles. Next, stay curious. Curiosity is like an antidote. Curiosity is also a discipline. Trust doesn't grow through agreement. It grows through leadership behaviors that make cooperation possible even when agreement is not. That is trust brokering. So here's a question for you today. Are you trying to convince people you're right? Or are you building an environment where people can work together even when they disagree?